Hello, everyone. My name is Jonathan, and today is day 402 of my 3-year challenge to lose 300 pounds. If this is your first time checking out one of my broadcasts, a little bit about me. I'm 39 years old, married. We have 4 children together, and I've been overweight my whole life. I created this channel to record my weight loss progress, also to keep myself accountable along the way. Um, and I developed a challenge for myself with 2 main goals in mind. The first goal is that I need to stick with something longer than I ever have before. A lot of times in the past, I would set a date that, maybe I had an event coming up, a wedding or a party or a vacation that I wanted to lose as much weight as possible for that event. Or I would lose a bunch of weight, but not ever figure out how to maintain my weight loss. So I decided that I need to make losing weight and getting my health under control a priority for longer than I ever have. And so that's why I challenged myself to do this for 3 years. The other big part of this is that I have a lot of weight to lose. I started at 519.8 pounds. And in order to get down to a healthy weight, I got to get down to almost 200 pounds. And in the past, when I've done diets, I've set goals that I felt like were maybe a little bit more realistic or that were kind of great starter goals, but I never really got to the end game. I would, I'd lose 100 pounds and I'd still be 300 pounds. And it would be great that I've lost 100 pounds. And I'm in that position right now. I've lost almost 200 pounds at this point. And it's great that I've lost 200 pounds, but I'm not to the end yet. I still have 100 plus pounds to lose. And so, uh, I challenge myself to lose 300 pounds so that when I am at my goal, I'm actually at a really healthy weight for a guy my size. So those are the 2 big reasons why I started this challenge. The 2 big parts of this challenge. The big reason I started it was because I needed to get my health under control. I got 4 kids that I, chances are 402 days into this, I might not have been around. I mean, I was really not in a good spot when I started this. So if anybody has any non-scale victories they would like to share, I'd love to hear your guys' non-scale victories. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, let me know how you're doing on your diets. Anything. I'd love to hear from you guys. Make sure that you do get subscribed to this channel and click on that bell icon so you get alerted when I go live, which is generally 4 p.m. on weekdays. And you guys can join the family and let me know how things are going with you. So, since yesterday, surprise, not a whole lot going on, of course. But I, uh, trying to think, it was not a busy evening at all. We didn't have any running around to do. Carrie did go do some shopping yesterday in the evening, but overall, not any big plans. None of the kids had any events to go to last night. The dinner that we had last night was an interesting one. I don't think Carrie's here right now, but we had a white bean and quinoa kind of chili or yeah, I guess you'd call it. I don't know. Not chili. There was no liquid. There was no soup to it. It wasn't a soup. It was just kind of a bowl. And it, it's one of those dishes again that going in and looking at it from the start, you wouldn't think much of it. And really, even the first bite, it was kind of like I wasn't even quite sure what. Unfortunately, I don't have a photo of it. I thought I took a photo of it. Um, well, wasn't quite sure of the textures and the flavors, but it was really good. And I was disappointed we didn't have more. I mean, Carrie made the recipe, and when she was making it, she could tell right away that we were not going to have a lot as a family of six. So whatever recipe she did, she would have to double it in the future. Um, it was interesting with my kids. They are starting to come along. I think that they've tried a few of these things enough that they've been surprised. So they're willing to give them a better chance. Um, One of the things that I don't know how to approach it with the older kids exactly, but they are so dependent on getting as much kind of pleasure as possible from their uh their diet. A lot of the foods that we've given them for the 10 and 8 years that they've been alive have been foods that were scientifically engineered by these companies to have bliss points and to be as addictive and as binge uh full. I don't know what, like, to, you know, there's so much science in these foods, for the pleasure. And that's not necessarily the foods we're eating. And that is something that I think I've had a really hard time over my life is that pleasure, like we we seek that the food to create the highest pleasure possible. Like I was talking the other day about going to fast food. Like my number one fast food restaurant to go to would have been Taco Bell. And so if I could have gone to Taco Bell every day, I would have, but I avoided that for more of a social reason than a physical reason. Um, but if and it's something where, like, they talk about, like, these maybe people that have all kinds of money and they eat this junk food uh every day. They have, this person has McDonald's for breakfast every morning, and it's like, well, if you have the money to get the food that's going to give you the most pleasure every morning, and you don't have to go and you don't have to do any effort for it, um then you're going to do it. It doesn't surprise me um that those things happen. But with these dinners, there was nothing wrong with the dinner we had last night from a nutritional standpoint. The and like an ability to eat it standpoint. It was edible. There wasn't anything in there that would cause difficulty for anybody to digest or to chew or to have any type of issues with that. Um and so there's, it's kind of hard to rewire my own brain, but then to also kind of trying to be explaining to our kids. Hey, Carrie and Anthony both checking in saying hello. Hi guys. I hope you guys are doing well today. Um, but it's hard to rewire our own brains that every dinner doesn't have to be the most enjoyable meal I've ever had. It just has to be enjoyable enough to be palatable and to provide me that energy or what I need for the next day. And they um like I said, the older kids are starting to pick that up more. The dinner last night, we had that white bean and quinoa that we had was kind of a side dish for them. It was mine and Carrie's main dish. And then they also had some burgers that we made out from, I don't know if it was Gardein or Impossible or Beyond, but they all had something other than this. The other thing that we are learning is that we can't necessarily give our kids full servings of these if we give them maybe amounts that are a little bit more manageable, instead of giving them a full serving of it, just giving them 4 spoonfuls or 3 spoonfuls. So it doesn't look like this huge mountain of food ahead of them and us saying, eat all your food, um, and, but yeah, the bigger kids, they both ate the food. Again, first bites were a little bit different, but then they had some breakfast sausage and toast. That's what they had as well. The the first bites were kind of just used to the texture, the flavor, get what it was, and then and like I said, I enjoyed it. I would eat that again. And I think the kids would too. One of our younger twins seems to be very similar to me in that they'll eat whatever's put in front of them and do it with a smile on their face. And that's kind of the way I've been my whole life, I feel like. And then my other daughter, she ended up eating her whole serving. I had to be a little bit more engaging with her, almost like when you're dealing with like a young toddler, feeding them, um, and making it more of a game, like about how many beans she could get on the fork or not have on the fork. And so made it a little bit more fun, and she ate the food she had. And again, I think part of the success too is putting a manageable amount of food in front of them and not making it look like they're going to have, a ton of this stuff. But I liked it. I don't know what it was called. Maybe Carrie will put it in the chat. If it had a name, it could have been from that Plant Powered Families cookbook. Again, I'm not sure. But if you do make it from whatever recipe she has, if you have a large family, you should double the recipe she has because you're going to want more. So then, yeah, with the smaller dinner, I did have my toast, the Ezekiel bread with miso, avocado, all that stuff last night as a snack. Also, some cashews as a snack as well. And then food for this morning was really back at the oatmeal. And I might have had peanut butter toast because I'm not sure if I had the Ezekiel bread or not this morning. I've eaten a lot of Ezekiel bread with the miso and avocado. We were out of miso. I don't know if Carrie bought any more miso. And then the avocados we had were like solid rocks. So I don't know if they're ever going to ripen. Carrie said that she can't remember what it's called, the dinner we had last night, but she thinks it's saved to the Pinterest board. And what that is down in the description below, there's a link to Carrie's Pinterest board that has a lot of the whole food plant-based meals that we've been eating. So if you're trying to kind of eat this way and you're looking for ideas, that's a great spot to find other recipes. We don't, Carrie says she bought so much miso. Great. Now we just need those avocados to ripen and, we should be good to go. I mean, it's, I was talking about that pleasure thing, and that for me on my diet right now, the most pleasurable thing I eat is that Ezekiel bread with the miso and the avocado and the mango pico de gallo. It is amazing the flavors I get out of it and just how much enjoyment I get from eating that same thing. And it makes me sad to think that maybe someday I won't have that much enjoyment. I can remember being on diets years ago and eating the same sausage or whatever every day, and then by 8 months in, I couldn't stand the sausage anymore. I think this diet's going to be a little bit different because we have so much variety in the other parts of the diet. Things like the oatmeal and the Ezekiel bread are just kind of um uh side dishes to the variety that we have for our main meals. um and then back, today I didn't really do I don't eat much during the day. I've been doing this 2 meal a day thing outside of the weekends, and I really like kind of the setup. I mean, it's odd because right now I get hungry, and the whole way home my hunger gets, I actually start to feel a hunger kind of before every meal. In the past, I would just grab food, shove it in my mouth, and kind of go on and just continually be shoving food in my mouth and never really experienced hunger. Talked about that a little bit like during the fast I did when I started this, is having actual hunger and not really even knowing what hunger is, just because I hadn't let myself feel true hunger in so long. Uh, and so now doing this, when I get up in the morning, I'm hungry. And then, at 5 p.m. or 5:30 when I get home and I haven't eaten for 9 hours, I'm very hungry as well. Um, I, I've been really trying to put myself in that window. It was tough yesterday because I did work out and I did break that. When I got home, I think I had some cashews. I didn't eat a lot, but I have been trying to kind of have that window from 5:30 to 7 in the evening too, because if I don't put a cap on myself, I'm just eating really what ends up being probably unnecessary calories. There's nothing going on after 7:30 p.m. that I need any more energy to get through. Uh and so uh Having that kind of cut off, I think, has really helped, and it's going to help with the weight loss this month. After we got the kids to bed last night, I did go to the gym and did just kind of a small workout. I'll try to bring that up on screen here now. Let me see. Should be this one. I had it all queued up before. So I did an hour-long workout. I burned 407 calories in that time, and it looks like I had an average heart rate of 104 beats per minute. Looking at the workout, what I ended up doing was kind of what I've done the last couple workouts. Your face looks thinner, by the way. Thank you very much, Anthony. Thank you. The I have my thinning filter on the screen, so everything's like squished, right? That anyways, uh so I did the same thing I've done the last few workouts. I spent the first half hour just focusing on weight training and rehabbing of my left bicep, and then I spent the second half doing cardio. So what I do for the first half, I think you call them like an Aerodyne exercise bike that has the arm and the leg or the feet kind of the pedals. And so I just do the arms for, I actually do 2 minutes with my hand. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get up. So I do 2 minutes with my hands up like this, and then I do 2 minutes like this, just to kind of engage the muscle different. I feel like it warms up my upper body muscles and kind of gets me ready to do any type of lifting. I had watched a video yesterday that was talking about gaining muscle and building muscle. And one of the techniques they talked about was to lift to failure. They said that there's been recent studies that have shown benefits to actually, lifting to the point where you can't lift anymore, so your body is not succeeding, I guess, or that you do enough reps that you can't do any more reps, and that there was benefits to that. And so I kind of took that knowledge a little bit into my workout yesterday in the evening, and I increased the weight that I did on the cable machine by 5 pounds. And I didn't end up failing at any of those, I did what I call or would call a superset, where I did 3 or 4 different shoulder arm workouts using the cable, uh, right arm and left arm independent. My right arm didn't have very much difficulty doing any of these, but my left arm did get pretty worn out throughout that process. After that, I did some isolated bicep curls where I just took, at first I grabbed a 30-pound dumbbell and was really not able to lift it at all with my left arm, and kind of was a little bit sad about that, because I mean, it's been a while since I've been at the gym, but it's um I was probably tired. Anyway, so I grabbed a 25-pound dumbbell and I did like 6 to 10 reps with my bicep, with my left bicep, until I couldn't do any more, so I did like 7, and then I got halfway through the next one and I couldn't do it. And then what I did, just because it's been what I've kind of been told in the past with physical therapy, is I matched that same activity with my right arm. So I did it to failure with my left arm, and then I just did the same number of reps with my right arm, just the kind of balance. It wasn't any, difficulty with it. And then I also did work on my squat a little bit. Um I didn't realize that I couldn't squat on my own. Like, in fact, I was kind of really thrown off the first time I did it the other day, in that I didn't have any weight on the bar. It was just the bar. And I was like, I'm just going to squat the bar. Shouldn't be a problem. Put the bar on my back, kind of went to take a step. I got like, maybe dropped my butt 2-3 inches and realized that I didn't have the muscle strength or support to keep doing what I was doing. And so I put the bar back, and then I started doing some workouts, or doing some squats, where I was assisted by having my hands on the bar itself, and then doing squats, and then kind of stabilizing myself with my arms, and then also assisting by, taking tension off my knees. And what I think it is, from doing the workouts yesterday and kind of trying to focus on it and seeing what it is the muscles that go through like the inside of my thighs, like to my knees. I feel like maybe that's where the weakness is. Like, I need to strengthen the oh, I didn't realize I was going to do that. Those kind of inside muscles, and I felt like I was feeling a burn, I guess is what they would say, but I was feeling the muscles fatigue on the inside of my thighs, towards the front. And so, I'm sure it's a part of the quadricep, or I don't know what you would call that part of the quadricep, but so I'm going to kind of focus on strengthening those muscles as well, because like I said, I was a little bit thrown off that I had a hard time squatting. I can do it without a bar, and kind of, the more I've done it, I've gotten a little bit better with it, but I wanted to focus on that a little bit yesterday. Let's see. And then the second half I did cardio, and one of the things that I wanted to do different, and I think you can actually tell by looking at the graph, is I wanted to create a consistency with my movement. I felt like doing the interval kind of running I was doing, where I would run for a minute and then walk for a minute, and then run for as much of a minute as I could, and then walk until I got to the next whole minute, and kind of going back and forth. That it's probably great for working out and getting the heart going and losing calories, but it isn't benefiting me in an endurance way, I don't feel like. And I never really, with all the training I did for the sprint triathlon, all of my run training was just go as hard as I can while I can, and walk while I can't. And so, which was different from the bicycling, because with the bicycling, I had a cadence meter on my computer, And that was my focus, was consistently keeping the same cadence and not worrying about other things, you know. And so with the running yesterday, I set myself to a pretty slow walking pace. I mean, it was just over 2 miles per hour. I am assuming, because the screens are broken and it looks like somebody broke them more since I was at the gym on Friday or Thursday of last week. So, um, but, uh, I just kind of set it and walked for the first, I want to say 25 to 26 minutes. And then the last, it might even be less. It was, okay, it was even less than that. It was like the last minute to 2 minutes that I upped the speed to, I think, a 3 mile an hour pace. And then I kept that pace and I was like, I'm going to do it no matter what. I'm going to keep this pace until I hit that 1 hour mark. And so that's how I finished the workout, was doing that cardio. One of the things that I do want to talk about with my workouts, that the overall calories it says I burned on this workout were 407 calories. And that's not a huge number. That's not a, Gary says it's kind of weird not knowing how fast or how far you're going on a treadmill. We're so spoiled. Yeah. Um, by technology. But the workout is 407 calories. That is not a hard workout. That is not somebody busting their butt at the gym for an hour the whole time and walking away just drained and beat. And it's on purpose. I could go in and try to beat the crap out of myself and and self-motivate. It's hard to that's why I think if you want to do that type of thing, having a trainer really helps, or maybe doing like a CrossFit type of thing where they kind of push that as the environment. But that's not what I'm doing, like this is just to be a little bit healthier and to just kind of get better. Me losing weight, I'm not going to the gym to lose weight. And that's something that me and Carrie have had discussions about this for years, about the gym and why you're going to the gym. And if you're going to the gym to lose weight, then your diet should be 100%, because you're just pissing in the wind if you're going to the gym for 4 hours, but your diet sucks. And so for me, going to the gym is rehabbing my arm, but also working on like endurance, so that maybe next summer I can do some 5Ks or 10Ks. Like the that was really a lot of fun. We were at a 5K this past fall, and just part of the environment and the atmosphere and the kids going out and having fun and just that kind of environment. And then the sprint triathlon was the same way. It was a little bit more athletic, I guess you would say, as far as the environment, the people that were encouraging and on the course, than the 5K necessarily was. But with the 5Ks I've done, there's nobody's looking at anybody. Nobody cares who comes in last. They're just out there for the fun. But anyways, this workout, what I wanted to talk about was that I didn't go and bust my butt, and I haven't gone and busted my, because I want to keep going back to the gym. And I just started listening to The Pleasure Trap again. This is the third time I've played The Pleasure Trap. I was looking for something to listen to, and I was like, I'm going to play it again until I find something. And they were talking about the three kind of main tenets of the book. And those three tenets are that we are creatures, or all creatures are designed to seek pleasure, avoid pain, and conserve energy. And when you go to the gym and you bust your butt the first time, and your muscles are sore and you can barely stand the next day and it hurts to walk and you're that that's painful. That's pain that you're going through for those 2 days. And so you have to fight your body to go back to the gym 4 days later because your body wants to avoid that pain that you just put it through, and a lot of times, and anybody that works out kind of knows that your body will manage and figure it out and that pain goes away and then you start not being sore when you go to the gym. But um so many times I've done it myself and I've heard of people doing it, but you get all excited that you're going to lose weight and you're going to get a gym membership and you're going to go and you're going to, and you're going to be healthy and it's going to all your answers are going to be uh all your prayers are going to be answered uh by what you're doing. And you go so hard and you go every day and you just bust and then you get burned out a weekend or you're so sore you don't go back the next, for a second time. And that's not what I wanted to do this time. And so I actually like that I'm only doing like a 400 calorie workout. Like and it also doesn't give me like this huge justification in my head that I can go and eat whatever I want because I worked so hard. I've done that a lot of times where it's like, oh, I did an 800 calorie workout. I deserve to have this bowl of ice cream, like it's just uh by doing just not a fast workout, just walking, just getting my heart rate up over 100 beats a minute for an hour, um, I think is going to help me in the long run with this. And ideally, I'd love to be outside doing these things, but it's wintertime. It's cold right now. I mean, it was insane cold the last 2 days. I couldn't believe how cold it was going out the door. It's below freezing now. So, um, the so that's what I guess my advice is. If you're gonna start working out, one, you're not gonna lose your weight working out. You're gonna lose weight dieting, and then working out's gonna help. Um, but two, when you first go work out, don't kill yourself. Don't do I the first time I used the treadmill a week ago, I could tell that I hurt my feet. I didn't go back to the gym the next day because my feet hurt and I didn't want to hurt my feet anymore. Uh, and so that's why I skipped a day at the gym. I could have done the other stuff. I could have done the lifting exercises, but I didn't want to hurt my feet on the treadmill. So I didn't go to the gym. And so now I'm taking it easier on the treadmill. I might not put it up on that 4 miles an hour setting for a little while now until I get to a point where I can be at the 3 mile an hour setting for 15, 20 minutes. And I can't be at that pace right now for that long. It's just crazy as well. Frustrating. Um, but yeah, um was happy I got to the gym though, because it had been since last Thursday that I went, and I'm hoping to go again this evening if I can get it worked out. But I don't see why I won't be back there this evening unless there's something going on I don't know about. But let's see. And then like I said, I started listening to the Pleasure Trap book again. I really like the book. It's written by Dr. Lyle and Alan Goldhammer, and um they really, those three kind of tenets. It's the pleasure seeking, the pain avoidance, and the energy conservation. And you can kind of boil a lot of things down um into those kind of three decision making processes. And there was something that they talked about in the book that I should have wrote it down. I can't remember now. But it hit me different this time than I feel like it hit me the last couple times. And that's really a neat thing about listening to the audiobook over again is kind of having the, oh, you know what it was? It was they have examples about like animals and giving them cocaine and the difference between mood and pleasure, and that like you can be in, yeah, it's all about how like we have these things in our grasp now that can hijack our pleasure, that even if we're not in the moods or we don't have the good mood, you know, that we need to have, or whatever mood you need to have throughout the day to get that kind of goal at the end of the day, you don't have to have that mood anymore, because now we have things that just allow us to hijack and give us that pleasure. So I don't know if I'm explaining it the best, you know, but you know, if you have to be hungry, you know, or you have to be in a frustrated mood to go and get food for dinner, you know, like we don't have to do that anymore. We don't have to be uh in those states. We can just get food at the plentiful, you know. Anyways, um and so I've been listening to the book and I like it. I kind of went long here today. I think that that is everything that I had to talk about. I am going to get on tomorrow for weigh-in Wednesday. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not expecting to have any huge weight loss, but I am looking forward to the scale going in the right direction. I have been 100% on diet since last Wednesday, and when I say on diet, it feels kind of weird, but I've been following the strictest parts of our diet for the last week. And I think I'm feeling physically, I feeling uh very good with the food choices that I've been making, and I'm hoping that it shows up on the scale tomorrow. And yeah, so it'll be weigh-in Wednesday. So I hope you guys join me. I'd love to know how you guys do on your weight loss and where you guys are on your kind of uh you know with what you guys are doing. So I'll be on tomorrow. If you guys haven't already subscribed to the channel, make sure you do subscribe to the channel. Click on the bell icon. You get alerted for when I go live. You can join the family. We got the Discord is another place where you can kind of hang out and let us know about what's going on with you. And kind of yeah, that's a great place for you to connect with us and let us know what's going on with you. And then the Pinterest is a great place for you to check out the meals that we've been eating. I also do have an Instagram, which is at Fasting. That is FAHSTING. It's over there. I'm looking at the wrong camera and it's way delayed. So I'm like pointing in the wrong directions for a long time. If you guys haven't started your diet yet, get started right now. There's nothing coming up that's more important than you taking care of your health and your wellness. There's nobody that gets to their goal and says, I wish I would have waited, or I'm so happy that I did wait. Everybody that gets to their goal looks back and says, I wish I would have started sooner. I wish I would have made these changes earlier. I wish I would have done something. I wish I would have known how great I feel. I would have done it sooner. You can be saying all of those things too. You just have to get started right now. You guys all have a great evening. I will see you tomorrow for weigh-in Wednesday.